The Krell outpost on Theta 7 was not built for humans. Its corridors were too narrow, its gravity too heavy, its air too thick with ammonia traces that made Lisa's respirator work overtime. But Lisa Chen had never been one to complain about accommodations. She was a xenobiologist, and Theta 7 was home to the galaxy's most comprehensive collection of juvenile Krell, the apex predators of the Andromeda sector. She walked through the research wing with her datapad in hand, her boots making soft thuds against the metallic floor. The Krell scientists watched her with their 6 eyes, their mandibles clicking in what she'd learned was a mixture of curiosity and concern. Humans were rare this far out, and rarer still were humans who volunteered to work with Krell younglings. "Dr. Chen," hissed senior researcher Vask Thor, his translator crackling, "I must again protest your presence in Nursery Sector 9. The cubs are entering their aggressive phase. 3 standard cycles ago, they tore apart a security drone." Lisa smiled, adjusting the strap of her equipment bag. "That's exactly why I need to observe them, Vask Thor. Aggression is a developmental milestone. I need to document it." "They will document you," Vask Thor replied, his sensory tendrils flaring with agitation, "in their digestive systems." The nursery sector was a controlled wilderness, a 50-meter expanse designed to mimic the hunting grounds of Krell Prime. Rocky outcroppings rose from artificial soil, and bioluminescent plants cast an eerie green glow. Somewhere in the shadows, 3 Krell cubs waited. Each was the size of a full-grown Terran lion, with chitinous armor plates, razor-sharp claws, and an instinct to hunt anything that moved. Lisa entered through the airlock. Behind her, she heard Vask Thor mutter something in his native tongue that her translator mercifully didn't catch. She'd barely taken 5 steps when she heard the first growl. It came from her left, a low, rumbling sound that vibrated through her chest. Lisa stopped but didn't turn. She knew better. The Krell cub emerged from behind a boulder, its armored head low, its 4 legs coiled like springs. Its eyes, all 6 of them, locked onto her with predatory focus. This was Zekmor, the largest of the 3. The dominant one. "Hello, big guy," Lisa said softly, keeping her voice calm and even. She slowly reached into her bag and pulled out a nutrient bar. Not the processed kind the Krell scientists used, but one she'd synthesized herself using biological markers from Krell prey species. Zekmor's growl intensified. His claws scraped against stone. Lisa tossed the bar gently to the side. It landed with a soft thud 3 meters away. For a moment, Zekmor didn't move. Then, with surprising speed, he lunged not at the bar but at Lisa. She didn't flinch. She'd studied predator behavior for 15 years, and she knew one universal truth. Fear smelled the same across every species. Instead, she stood perfectly still, meeting Zekmor's 6-eyed gaze with her own too. The cub stopped half a meter away, his momentum arrested by confusion. Prey ran, prey struggled. The strange creature did neither. Zekmor circled her once, sniffing, then turned and snatched up the nutrient bar, retreating to his boulder to consume it while watching her. Suspiciously, Lisa smiled and continued walking. The second cub came from above. Riltha dropped from a rocky overhang with the precision of an ambush predator, landing directly on Lisa's shoulder. Small for a Krell, Riltha was no less dangerous. Her needle-sharp teeth sank into the reinforced fabric of Lisa's jacket, and her claws scrabbled for purchase against the human's back. "Ow, okay." "Yes, you're very fierce," Lisa said, her voice strained but not panicked. She reached back slowly and grasped Riltha by the scruff. A dense cluster of sensory quills that, when held correctly, triggered a juvenile submission reflex. Riltha's jaws released immediately. She went limp in Lisa's grip, her eyes blinking in rapid sequence, the Krell equivalent of surprise. "See? Not so scary," Lisa murmured, gently setting the cub down. Riltha scuttled backward, her mandibles clicking in what might have been embarrassment, then darted into the shadows. Lisa checked her jacket. The bite had torn through 2 layers but hadn't broken skin. She made a mental note to reinforce the shoulder padding. She was nearly across the nursery when she noticed the 3rd cub. Torvin was the smallest, the quietest, the one the other researchers had written off as developmentally delayed. He sat atop a flat stone, his body perfectly still except for his sensory tendrils, which waved gently in her direction. He didn't growl. He didn't attack, he simply watched. Lisa stopped and turned to face him fully. She crouched down, making herself smaller, less threatening. "Hey there, little one," she said softly. Torvin's head tilted, a gesture that transcended species. Curiosity. Then slowly, he climbed down from his perch and approached. His movements were cautious, deliberate. When he reached Lisa, he didn't bite or claw. Instead, he pressed his armored head against her leg and made a soft thrumming sound. Lisa's heart melted. She reached out and gently stroked the ridge of his carapace. Torvin's thrumming intensified and he leaned into her touch. When Lisa finally exited the nursery 40 minutes later, Vaskathor was waiting with his medical team. They stopped short when they saw her, alive, uninjured save for a torn jacket and smiling. "Impossible," Vaskathor breathed. "The cubs should have. How did you—" "They're children," Lisa said simply, handing him her datapad filled with behavioral notes. "Dangerous children, yes, but children nonetheless. They're testing boundaries, learning their place in the world. Zekmor needed to establish dominance but respected a challenge. Riltha needed to practice her hunting skills. And Torvin—" She glanced back at the observation window where the smallest cub sat, still watching her. Torvin just needed someone to see him. Vaskathor's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of profound confusion. "But you are prey. You are soft. You have no armor, no claws, no venom. By all logic, you should be dead." Lisa's smile widened. "That's the thing about humans, Vaskathor. We don't survive because we're the strongest or the fastest. We survive because we're curious, adaptable, and maybe just a little bit crazy." She patted the researcher's chitinous arm. "Oh, and we really, really love things that can kill us." As she walked away, Vaskathor turned to his colleague. "The humans are insane." "Yes," the other Krell agreed, watching Lisa disappear down the corridor. "But perhaps that is why they thrive among the stars." Behind the observation glass, Torvin remained at his post, his 6 eyes tracking the strange, soft creature who had smiled at monsters and somehow made them smile back.